do video games make kids violent? Oh, man.
I think they make themselves violent.
I
Doesn't necessarily help, but I guess that's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's saying, do books make people contemplate the meaning of life? No. If someone's contemplating on the meaning of life and not the moral of the story, I have to question. Because at that point, it's like, are you really focusing on what you actually read? At that point.
Nope. Focus does nothing for him.
Oh, let's see. Now, this says, are you a liberal or a conservative?
I suppose liberal.
I would say conservative because I don't like change. No. I do like change.
I don't like change, but, I think that people should have their own kind of power.
Yeah. I feel like it's one of those questions that, keep in mind, we can't sit on the fence on this one. You gotta pick left or right. You can't be sitting on the fence with a question like that. It's like, are you left or right? And it's like, I have both. No, you can only be one. I know it's wrong, but it's like with this question, which one would you be?
Let's see here. Refractors. Why are these not? Oh yeah, copper. It's always copper. Are you still getting disconnected?
Mm-hmm. Like, it has a a very, very long, extravagantly long login. And then I load to, like, a simple chunk. And that chunk just is, like,
unless... I don't see why it would have, though. It should still be disabled. Yeah. Because this would be similar to how it would probably react if the nuclear reactor exploded, but it hasn't done that, so...
Alright, how do you feel about women going topless in public?
I got no problem with it.
I don't know. I sit on the fence of no, it shouldn't be, and not because the organ is sexually representative, but because the organ is very floppy, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, it bounces, you know what I mean?
So are fat people, and that they're allowed to.
But then I think because of the sexualization, it's like, why can't men just show their balls? It's okay. It's just their balls. Just have it cover.
But see, the thing is, though, this is
for medical
private
reasons.
Area. This is the thing. This is private area.
No. It said no. Oh, what? This says in public.
Yeah, I mean private area.
Wait, which area are you talking?
Not private zone, I guess private zone.
Wait, of the...
Basically, this is their abdomen we're talking about now, this level.
Oh, okay.
That's different. No one is allowed to do that because that's definitely charged. But topless on both sides doesn't really matter. Because, first of all, guys can do it, guys can be fat, and then they have boobs. And yet they're still allowed. And yet, females, sure, they have boobs, but there's really nothing there. It can only be charged if people decide that that's a charging thing. You know?
Let's see. In some cultures, though, going topless is normal and an everyday tradition passed through generations. I'm okay with women going topless because they believe in their culture. But even if they were in public, well, they still are letting themselves be seen, and that just might attract the sort of attention you don't want to receive. There you go.
Yeah, that would do it to you, but that's just the way it works.
It's just like one of those cultural things that it's like we built up this title. We built up this...
Here's the thing, though, too, is that I don't believe it's actually illegal to be topless so long as you're not on private property. I mean...
You mean in public property? Being topless.
For it? What?
You mean as long as you're in private property, it does not matter if you're topless?
No. You can literally walk around topless. So
yeah, but I don't think it's like that.
McDonald's or like a Starbucks or anything like that, like because those are
like public
stores and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you're allowed to walk the streets
no
without.
shirt, no shoes, no service.
Exactly.
But they forgot
That
about
kind of
the
thing.
pants.
You know, so I mean, because there are women that have actually done this out in
public on the
somewhere.
sidewalk.
I don't know where,
but they can't do that inside a general store.
Yeah, they can't go into these places that are big places, like they can't go to well, I suppose you could go to a hospital like that because of the fact that maybe something happened, kind of thing. But like, if it's not an emergency kind of thing, then you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah,
it's just one of those kinds of things that. Because you have to respect the person who owns that land.
Yeah.
Now, if you're walking out on the street and stuff, that's just like the entire town's land. So if there's not a literal rule that's published in that town for it, there's no problem with it.
I don't know. I felt like it's. I think it's a sign of modesty in our culture to do so, because like, if you take it to extremes, like in Eastern countries. Yeah, in Eastern countries, they're like, look at these women, they're oppressed by men because they have to cover their bodies only to show their eyes. And I'm thinking to myself, but they do that because of modesty and also because of religious dedication. You don't see us be like, oh look, Father Jonathan's oppressing Mother Madeline with her acts like that. But it's like their own dedication to modesty, and it's like, I feel like when I was a kid, I was like, one of these days, people are just going to get to the point where they're like, fuck clothes and just be naked all day. And I feel like that was a premonition. Now, I don't really feel like that was like a random thought. Because it seems like people, not each and every day, seem like they just want to take off more clothes until winter comes around.
Oh, but when you were talking about like how those women had to cover themselves, like in like Arabia areas,
I said Eastern
Arabic
countries.
areas, I believe it was. Or it's Eastern. I don't remember. But like, so like they wear that full suit cloth.
Mm-hmm.
So they cloak everything, and I think the problem with it, I don't have a problem with that because it's culturally accepted and stuff, kind of thing. But my problem with it is that I don't believe they really have a choice to be out without it. That's the problem. Because like if they go out without it, they're gonna get, first off, heavily harassed by like everyone, and second of all, like it's a law almost. In fact, I think it actually is a law.
There is an Eastern Islamic state that is politically, that does not separate church and state. So yes, you do know that their religion does influence their laws. So yes, there is a state that does do that. That's why I suggest the Eastern countries.
Yeah, and that is oppressive in that case, because then they don't have a choice.
Yeah, but that entire freaking, I think women in general are just oppressed, period, in that state.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are oppressed in that state. I think they're on the verge of like developing a caste system.
I need to grind these down first. I don't know, I don't like it when you don't have a choice in what you get to do. If it makes sense, if it makes like huge sense not to have that kind of choice, then I guess it's okay, but I don't really like it when you don't have a choice at all. And it's not really something crazy.
Mm-hmm. I want to change the world.
I don't know why you keep getting overflow and stuff.
I don't really know. I stopped trying long ago. Occasionally,
it says the server health's low. Reallocated memory. 28. How much memory do I have right now?
Is it okay to cry if your dog dies? I don't know.
Sure, why not?
I can't see why.
93% physical memory.
You spent a lot of time with this creature, you developed its personality if you were the one that, forged its personality.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think my computer's running out of RAM to use right now.
Aw, snap.
So, like, the server's not doing so hot.
Yeah.
So that's probably what it is. But, I mean, we're so far in, I don't really want to end it and to restart, Yeah. So I think we'll just leave it like it is for now.
Yeah.
And I'll restart. Because the server has to basically be restarted for me to fix this. In fact, I might have to restart my computer to fix this.
Holy shit, yeah, I wouldn't be
because it may not deallocate the memory correctly.
Forget that. I'll just say where I am. I'm fine with this. No. Okay, that's I got hiccups. Why?
It's just Satan trying to rip his way out of you.
I gotta put the dough back.
It destroyed the place.
Well, this is a Ranger's question. Did you have no clue that Christmas was about religion when you were a child?
No, well...
At what point did you realize that, oh shit, this is religion?
I don't remember. I think I've kind of always known, but at the same time, I don't know.
I think I generally knew, but I didn't really say, wait a minute, this is another thing.
I didn't make, like, the straight connection, yeah. It's not something you really think about as a kid. You don't really care about religion.
I discovered it when it was, like... okay. I think I discovered it when, like... What is it? Like, I remember my mom was cutting up the, like, turkey in the kitchen one night by candlelight. Yeah, that's because, we're traditional like that.
It's a little... You went Amish for this.
And, like, my father was watching Indiana Jones, and, like, my mom was listening to, like, this Christian Christmas, like...
music?
Station. It was music, but also, like, the station announcers talking, because it was Christmas night.
I see.
And, like, I was playing with light brights, and I was thinking, I don't...
You had a light bright, too?
You did not.
I know, that thing was popular as hell back in the day.
And, like, I was thinking to myself, I was listening to a announcer, and all the while being entertained by the light bright, because that's how artsy-fartsy I was, and the TV, but, like, the back of my head, and subliminally, I was, like, listening to the radio.
Yeah.
Right? And that's when I really realized that the significance of the holiday religiously. And ever since then, I've been always really, really, like, grateful for Christmas and what I receive, even though it may be little.
See, like, the thing is that it's been so long, and all the processing for Christmas and stuff, like, it's gone through a few years,
Mm-hmm.
And corporation took it over,
Yeah.
Like, Santa Claus isn't so much a Christian icon so much as a salesman, basically.
Yeah.
So, like, he's lost a lot of his design. But, I mean, there's really no problem with it because it's one of those things. I don't know. I never had a problem with it, and I don't know if I cared to make the connection for it being religious. I just kind of knew at some point. I don't know when. But I didn't particularly care if it was religious.
Well, I didn't care either. But it was one of those notes that's like, this isn't, I understand what this holiday is about. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. On a personal scale to our, to our parents, to those individuals of that generation, on just exactly the significance of the holiday to them. Like Easter, I mean, like Easter, your grandfather was crying when he was watching, Like, I'm fucking say Passion of the Christ. I don't fucking know what was on. And he's crying. I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, this is a man dedicated to his religion, man. When he dies, he's going to a peaceful place. Right? I'm like, holy shit. And that's the dedication. I mean, not dedication. That's the generation. Yeah. GE. And iteration that, like, really loves. I mean, that really took things personal. Take too many damn things personal.
What the hell has happened to this object?
I don't know. Is it broken?
Oh, it's beyond broken. So it was a hopper, right? So I broke it down, so I got the item hopper, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was a hopper with full-grown zombies in it. So I was just... It was like 2 of them, too. So I was just standing in the center, and I'm just like, what is... It was like holding a statue that I just randomly got, and I'm like, what did I do to deserve this award? Some disturbing stuff happening in here. God, I've got to crush a lot of pearls. And do we have any more hoppers? I think we should. Actually, this is kind of crappy in the way it's going to be. I need to...
You know, this is like the 4th time I came across a name. Like, which name is better for a boy or a girl? Or, which name is better? And, like, all these things. And I'm like, what's wrong with people going to, like, Yahoo Answers and name their children? That future that you spoke of people having heart attacks and looking for forums for answers while they're having a heart attack is now.
Welcome to the future.
Yeah,
like, I can understand that one though, because it's like it's hard to come up with a good name. You know, I mean, we don't do quite the same thing.
But...
we don't do quite like the same thing that like other countries do. Because in China, you could be called water, you know, and you'd come over to another country and people would think, oh, your name's cool, but not. But then you find out that there's actually a word for it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's an actual representation. And then when you think about it, do you think you could ever name your kid Water?
I wouldn't specifically say water, but yeah, something along those lines.
That's the thing. It doesn't translate quite the same. Like, you wouldn't call your kid... Oh, this is a compressor. You wouldn't call your kid Water because you don't think the word works. But the thing is, in another language, if you knew only that language, it would have the same feeling.
Uh-huh. But this is, what are the names better for? Chris or Christopher? Or Christople?
Well, I don't know how that works out.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get at. That's the type of questions I'm coming across. Not like, should I name my kid? Water or Box or Penelope? No, it's like the same variation of the word. What is contraband?
What?
What's contraband?
Something you're not supposed to have, I believe.
Okay.
It's like illegal.
Oh, there goes the 6th one. It's the 7th one
name
right
your
there.
Kid Contraband.
See, Isla.
Hey, you might as well name him Hitler.
Isaac Paula or Isaac John or Trendon James or Trendon Michael or Michelle or Jordan or...
Okay, now that's weird though, because of the fact that...
Or Oliver Patrick.
It's not like just one name. Like, I expect people to be looking for things like, you know, Chris or Sue or John or Bob or something, you know? Just flat names. Because the thing is, like, these don't have much of a connection to a normal thing. Like, I don't believe Chris would connect to, like, Christian or Christ or something, I suppose. But I don't know where the basis for that was.
There is no basis, and that's all of them. That's all the questions I'm getting across that involves it.
Yeah, it's like, because there's rarely a basis for these names. They're just pulled out of thin air. Some amalgamation of characters in that language that works, but doesn't have a connection to an actual item.
So, can a fat girl wear white pants?
They wouldn't be very slimming. Nothing would. She could wear a bus, it wouldn't be very slim. No, I have no idea. That's a stupid question.
There's no such
but
thing.
Keep in mind, there's no such thing as stupid question.
But that's one of them. It's scary.
Exactly. Super stupid.
What? Yeah, well, Minecraft's running out of memory, so we're just sitting here talking about shit, giving shit to the world about shit, because, you know, YouTube.
That's how we live.
Mm-hmm. Make a living off of nothing.
What is this?
So why has Barack Obama not won a Nobel Prize yet?
Because he hasn't introduced peace.
Because he hasn't achieved shit, in my opinion. I'm like, he became the first black president.
He did do one thing that no one else achieved, which was bringing in healthcare.
I don't know if that deserves a Nobel Prize.
I'm not saying it does. I'm just saying that's something no one else achieved. He's the first person to have accomplished that.
Yeah, good point.
Because, like, there were 2 other presidents, I think, before him at least, that tried and failed.
Like, they were, like, discussing, like, how if, like, President Bush's brother becomes president next, for, like, 3 decades, we would have been, like, under the same, president family.
Yeah, that would be kind of weird.
He's just like, oh, shit, that
it'd be especially a bad idea when you consider what happened with the second one, seemingly. Like, people gave him flack, and then he was voted into office again, so they gave him more flack. And it's just like, if his brother had gotten in, it had just been like, what are we doing?
I have to admit, he handled, like, 9/11 horrible. Like, he just sat there for, like, half hour before getting up.
What do you mean?
Well, when he was told about it, he was at, like, the elementary.
He was first told while at a school, reading a story.
Yeah, and he was like, kids, I need to leave. Our nation needs me right now. It was just like, he sat there, and he's...
Well, the thing is, as the president, there's a lot more to it, though. You know, he's got people who will do his job for him a lot of the time. Especially the people who are supposed to guard America. Like, I mean, he could have pulled off some things like, you know, like I should get into like Air Force One kind of stuff, but it was dependent on like how secure he was where he was at, and no doubt he had security around him, so they would know if anything was going on. And then when it goes to protecting everywhere else in the country, he can't be everywhere, so there's people who are in charge of that.
Yeah, I just feel like, well, you know...
And he didn't want to scare the children, too. You don't want to be like, oh, I've got to get up because, you know, there's a building that exploded due to terrorism.
Got up and he still left in the middle of it.
What?
He still got up and left in the middle of it. Just freaking wait a half hour.
Didn't he, like, finish some of the stuff that he had to do there?
No, he just sat there. Yeah, he just sat there. And
I don't know. I don't know, like,
my only hiccup with it. Oh, I mean, everyone has the hiccups. That's my only hiccup. The campaign, the economy, fuck all that. Just sat there for a few minutes when shit was happening. That's my only problem. Am I like the older generation taking things too seriously? Personal.
I don't know. It's like, the thing is, as a president, and the thing about terrorism, too, is that it's not the easiest to work with. So long as certain things are secured at the time, there's not really a reason to just spike, you know?
Uh-huh. Fuck that. I want to be like,
it's not like you can just get up and all of a sudden all the planes that have been taken over are going to explode in midair and be stopped, you know? Like, what are you going to do?
There was a Pentagon, and there was that other one in Oklahoma.
That's the thing, though. They were kind of hit at the same time, weren't they?
And then there was the twin of the World Trade Center. Don't tell me it was a small
I'm not saying it was small. I'm saying those happened simultaneously.
Exactly. But my point is...
What are you supposed to do about that?
My point is, you like... I want to be like, America needs me, children. Go home. Because your parents need you. There's something like that right now. Or like, say something to the kids, you know what I mean? Like, well, like, something happened, I need to go. Or, you know, some hiccup thing came up, I had an important meeting to go to. Something, you know what I mean? To like...
But that's just it.
Addressing
it's one of those things that...
to get out the situation. Because it's like... This isn't like Katrina. This is which he also handled poorly.
But it's one of those things, like I was saying, like, he couldn't just stop it in midair. It's like he's not going to be able to do anything that's going to instantly have ramifications.
As Commander-in-Chief, I don't expect to see him on the battlefield. I expect him to do his part as a diplomat. Yeah. But I expect morale boost. You know what I mean?
But like half an hour wasn't going to change anything.
A half an hour was not going to change anything. I don't know. We watched the damn thing for a few hours. I agree, but I feel like...
Like, I mean, there weren't more planes, and if there were, they would have still been dealt with by anti-air, which should have been dealt with just automatically. He shouldn't need to be called into action
for the military. You can't be using anti-air on civilian aircraft. You can't do that.
Exactly, but that's another thing. He can't stop terrorism. He can't tell the people on their ship that are taking it over to stop taking it over, and they're just going to do it.
No, but the fact that, I don't know, maybe, like it seems like every government building's being attacked at this moment, and it's like, kids,
but there's nothing in particular
Pentagon just got hit. Pentagon just got hit. I think I need to go.
He shouldn't tell the kids this, first of all. But second of all, I really don't think there's anything he could have done right then and there.
No, but I feel like it's like,
I think that enough power is
several planes have crashed
that it
into
can be dealt with by itself.
Several government buildings have been attacked. People have been watching TV for the past 2 hours, and shit's hitting the fan here. Just figured I'd let you know. And then he backs off the CIA agent. He just sits there and he's like, what the fuck am I going to do, man? I didn't expect this shit was going to happen the first time.
Part of it could have been thinking. He could have been planning out what he was going to do in response.
Yeah, but he could have done that on the way out.
Well, but that...
Could have talked to advisors.
It's like sitting in that chair in school versus sitting at the White House chair meant any different.
He could have been talking to his advisors like, what the fuck happened, man? I don't know. Like, fucking planes are crashing out the sky.
His advisors. He's been told what happened.
He was told briefly. And he's like, I need to leave. I need to talk to advisors real quick. And like the advisors are like, shit, man, you seen this? No, I was inside a meeting with children. What the fuck are you expecting me to turn on national disaster? Like several of our teachers did. I mean, like, you understand how I feel.
I know what you mean, yeah.
I'm not trying to justify it, and I'm not trying to scrutinize it. I'm just saying my personal opinion why he fucked up.
But there's no reason why.
I'm not saying he should not have been elected a second presidency because of it. I'm not saying
it either, though.
I'm just saying it's just like one of those facepalm moments. Just, that's where he lost so much trust among the people.
I don't see why, though. He seemed perfectly normal.
Perfect.
It was a perfectly acceptable thing.
Chris, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of what happens if your mom's in an emergency room. You're like, hold on, I gotta think of something.
It's not like I'm gonna teleport to where she's at.
You're like, hold on, I need to think. And you just sit down. You're just like, on the internet finding answers, and it's like, no, man, get to the hospital first. Ask questions later.
Well, second of all, I couldn't do anything anyway. I'm not going to be able to just teleport into the emergency room and help the emergency people fix this problem.
No, but it's not like being where you are.
I should get on my way, yes, but I'm not going to just start going immediately.
It's like, there was a saying that goes, that person was still fighting for what they believed in, even though they were completely fucking wrong. It was just the fact that the act of doing nothing. Yes, yeah, you give me that you give me that philosophy about doing nothing is the act of doing something. But I don't think that's one of those cases, Chris.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna drop it, that's what I mean. I'm not talking about it.
I'm gonna have to just do a lot of these beryllium cells off this stream because it's gonna take forever to get these all together. Gotta crush up 1 million pearls.